Welcome to the Voice of the Veteran Show, the #1 show in the nation for firsthand veteran experience. My name is Gail Ochiltree, Army Airborne veteran, along with co-host Nicholas Cormier. Where are you? There you are. Say hello, Nicholas. Say
Hey,
hello.
everybody.
Hi, Mom.
Hello, Mother.
Yeah, is that all?
Well, that's all I had to say. It's good to
I
be
thought
back.
you were going to say something about the Air Force traffic control. I wanted everybody to know about that. I'm proud of you.
Oh, well, you know what? I was thinking about the person who trained me today, and it's something I've never shared before, but I thought about it today. I just saw it, and it's been 8 years since I've come to California. And you know what I thought of is I didn't have a place to live and I didn't have a job. And it was a veteran, the person who trained me as an air traffic controller, that actually said, hey, your daughter's here. We want you to be with your daughter and near your daughter. So they gave me a place to stay out in Palmdale. And they also gave me free of charge. And they also found me a job. And that's how I got to California. And that was from veterans taking care of veterans, which is one of the big reasons why I'm here. So great to be here. It's great to see you, Gail. And
great to see
everybody.
you, Nicholas. And I knew that I needed to ask you to say something else because that's a great story. Good. And thank you to that person because now I have a great friend to do the show with. All righty. Hey, we're going to talk about V.P.A.N today, and we've got a special guest, Christina Garcia, and we're going to bring her on right now. We're going to talk to her about, what she does for veterans. Christina, there you are.
Hey, Gail. Hey, Nick. How's it going?
Hey, how you doing, Christina?
I'm
Happy
doing
to see
super
your
awesome.
smiling face. Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Gail, for having us on.
Now, Christina, we want to talk about V.P.A.N today because that's where you work, and we're going to learn about that. Do you actually work at VA West Los Angeles?
I don't, Gail. However, we are looking for partnerships within all the VAs in LA County to use them as community access points. So that way our peers can go and, be more organic with our veterans and military family members and provide them that connection.
Now, you kind of talk like a veteran. Are you a veteran?
I am a proud woman veteran of 24 years. I just retired February of 2020.
Wow, recently. That is incredible. Oh, man, I'm really glad you're here. So what branch of service were you in?
I was in Army National Guard, and Active Guard Reserve. So all components except for Army Reserve of the Army.
Oh, okay. So are you actually in California right now?
I am, Gail. I transferred from San Diego to LA for a promotion, for my last promotion to E8 Master Sergeant. From here, I was scheduled for Sacramento for Sergeant Major, and I said, I'm cutting it off, hanging up the ACUs and boots and putting on business casual and heels.
That's great. All right. Well, tell us a little bit what V.P.A.N means, because I don't know what the letters mean. And just talk a little bit about it. And Nicholas, if you need to interrupt and ask a question or something, that's what we'll do. But let's just kind of have a conversation about things that we want to chat about with you. And why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about V.P.A.N and what it does for veterans?
Awesome, Gail. Thanks. The story that Nick shared about that veteran that took him by the hand and said, I got you. That's what V.P.A.N is, the Veteran Peer Access Network. And back in 2019, the LA Board of County of Supervisors, they authorized about $33 million over the next 3 years to provide a team of family members and veteran service members and to assist with the transitioning of the military member to civilian life. We all know it's so difficult, especially if you don't know anybody, or there's people out there that just don't want to give you that full story of how to apply for a benefit or how to apply for a job, So the Veteran Peer Access Network, it's trained military family members and veterans, and they're here to provide a warm handoff. So to connect with the brothers and sisters and family members out there that need the help. So, the services that are being delivered are referrals and linkages, whether it's legal, VA benefits, job placement, housing, mental health care, substance abuse treatment, evaluation and screening services, specialized outreach, case management. We all know those veterans and family members that either know what they need or don't know what they need. So our peers are going to assist with that. Now, we know in LA County, we have 5 supervisory districts, and each district has their own veteran service team. So
Oh, really?
those teams are comprised of 8. So we have a program manager, 2 squad leaders, 5 battle buddies, and these teams are in those supervisory districts. They're going to be stationed at rally points. And so these rally points are in each supervisory district. So ranging from South El Monte to Compton, Long Beach, Granada Hills, and Lancaster. And so these 5 community-based organizations we've all heard of. So for Supervisory District 1, we have JVS. Supervisory District 2, we have VOA LA. For Supervisory District 3, we have Goodwill Southern California. For Supervisory District 4, we have US Vets. And lastly, Supervisory District 5, we have JVS. So these community-based organizations were picked from panels that, we selected veterans and influential leaders in the Los Angeles community to identify these organizations because, they're the ones that are going to be providing the services to our family members and veterans. So that's the way that the teams have worked so far. We have hired 37 out of the 40, so we're still looking for a few. That if you're interested in applying, reach out and we'll get you hooked up with a position here if qualified. And so recently, we are just so excited because it's rolled out so quick, and we soft launched in January, which means that we've been taking referrals. So those individuals who need the assistance, they reach out to the warm line through DMH, which is the primary conduit to our community-based organizations. And, we get the referrals and we assist them and we take them by the hand and we say, hey, we got you. I'm a veteran. I've been through some things, but it's going to be all right.
So how do you interface with hospital VSOs and those kind of people who are actually working on benefits? Is there some kind of linkage there?
There is, Gail. So we're currently using a platform through Unite Us. And it's a platform that makes referrals so much easier because right now what we're trying to do is increase the amount of partners through LA County that are on our platform. So it makes it easier for referrals to come and go. So for example, the Department of, let's say, VA, if they were our partners in Unite Us, we could automatically provide a linkage from Mr. Nick Cormier through our platform to the VA. So currently we have about 35 active veteran service organizations on Unite Us, but we're increasing it, daily. So if anybody on here is in a veteran service organization who wants to be on our platform, also please contact us. And it's a very simple partner registration form.
So someone just put up a note on the screen, the power of one network. Yes. That's Jose. I can't pronounce it. Thank you. That's right. And he says, the power of one network. So I just wanted to mention that and say thanks for watching the show. Yeah,
it's really true, Gail. It's really true because, we know so many organizations that provide similar services, right? Resume writing, career, all of these services now, it's all in one platform and it's led by veterans and military family members that have, the experience with veterans. So it's very relatable and it's, a place where it's safe, secure, and you can trust. So, I mean, it's unique. If I could look back 1 year ago and say there was a program out there for me, a retiree, I would say there is none. But now I can, say with a smiling face that it's out here for those who need it or don't even know if they need it yet.
I have a question. Now, every time I get a chance, I like to stir the pot on this issue because everybody knows it's a thing. Now, transition from active duty military to veteran status. Was there, in your firsthand experience, because that's what we do on this show, is our veteran firsthand experience. And I want to ask about, did the VA come to you and help you set up in the TAP program, how you could take that program? I mean, what happened in your active duty experience that prepared you for that transition to veteran land? You know what I mean?
Great question, Gail. But unfortunately, when you're in the military, you're so taken care of, right? You have BAH, you have BAS, you have all these, dental, medical, everything's provided. When you go through the Soldier for Life program or the ACAP program in the Army, it's a 3-day program. I went to Monterey and it was great. The environment was perfect, nature hikes. But in those 3 days, they give you 3 big books, worksheets, business cards. It was very difficult to try to pinpoint a path of transition. Going from so taken care of to now you're on your own, figure it out. And unless you have that peer or that battle buddy to provide that support and hold your hand and tell you, hey, I've been there, I got you. It is so difficult. So the first few months were a little difficult for me as a transitioning retiree. I couldn't even imagine those who don't know what benefits or aren't tech savvy or don't have that battle buddy to help.
We hear this quite often, and that's why I want to ask people's actual firsthand experience and not just be complaining about things, but letting people know what our needs are. Nicholas, do you have any questions for her? If you do, just go ahead.
I do actually, Gail.
Oh, good.
Christina, you know what? Goodwill stood out to me, but I have used JVS. When I was looking at reintegration and everything and transitioning, it was very challenging for me because it was kind of like word of mouth only for me. But I was directed to JVS. So I took the test at JVS and did all of that and made my appointments there. But then, I didn't really know where to go from there. What I'm wondering is, does V.P.A.N select specific service partners for the veteran that comes to V.P.A.N? How do I get in touch? How do I know if I go to JVS or Goodwill or how does that work?
Yeah, Nick, that's a question that we've had in the past, so it's nothing new. But just like you, I did also go through different organizations. Now that they're on one platform, it's so much easier. So they're based out of supervisory districts. So if you live in Sylmar, then you will belong to this district. You won't be going to the other district. And, in the Unitas platform is where we have all of our service providers. If the service provider that you need, for example, is not in there, we will find it. So that's one of the roles of our, battle buddies, squad leaders, and program managers is to find those resources that are needed in that specific district, because we know that each district is different. Each district has different needs, different resources, there's differences. So not everyone is not standard like in the military where we have those differences.
I'm loving this thing about battle buddies and platoon people and all this stuff. I mean, because it just feels good to be called. You actually hire like battle buddies as a title?
Yes, Gail.
That's so cool. I love that. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's so funny because, of course, in the military, we understand the rank structure. We know how information flows up and down, how to filter it from the top to the bottom. And so it's funny because, my title is program manager. However, some people say first sergeant still. So I'm like, it's all good.
Well, that's one of the issues at the VA. We walk in there and nobody's got a uniform on. There's no rank. You don't know who you're talking to or even who to ask to get to where. So I really appreciate, your work and everything. My gosh, Nicholas, go ahead. I know you've got more questions for her. This is wonderful.
Well, no, thank you for answering, Christina. My other question was Goodwill stood out to me, and I was just wondering what kind of services. I know there's a jobs program and things like that, but I was just wondering, did Goodwill fall within a specific region? And if so, what Goodwill provided for the veteran?
Yeah, so Goodwill falls under Supervisory District 3. And like I said, the panel did select each community-based organization based off of what they can provide, what they've provided in the past, and what they feel they can provide in the future. So, there was a lot that went into these selections. I mean, believe it or not, we were in these panels for a couple hours, actually a few hours, deliberating, okay, is it a good fit? Is it not? So, Goodwill does provide employment opportunities, but for the most part, they will be doing referrals and linkages out into the community. Supervisory District 3, for example, is one where we do need more partner registrations. So, the resources are out there. It's just a matter of finding them and linking them to the proper entities.
So the proper entity, here's the question for you. This is all wonderful stuff, but how does a veteran know to contact you? Where are they going to find you to say, please help me? I mean, how do they do that?
So one is word of mouth, right? What we're doing here is providing the information to our brothers and sisters and family members out there. Share this, please. We also are on social media, so Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Also, our community-based organizations, their websites. So you can go to any other websites. They'll have their organization emails, phone numbers, points of contact, and of course, more importantly, the DMH support line. So that's, open to anyone who's a veteran or a military family member at any point in time. And, the biggest thing is that we want to reduce any amount of barriers. So as low barriers as possible, and just try to provide, that whatever we didn't have for them.
Thank you, Melanie, for that comment. She's going, yay, battle buddies. I see her little message right there.
Oh,
yeah, this is great stuff. You have anything else, Nicholas?
Well, Jose Barraza is giving the Air Force. JVS was my lifeline to employment after transitioning from the Air Force. Urban Thomas were the rock stars that changed my path.
All right.
Fantastic. And those are the things, yes, we're going to be highlighting the success stories as well, because I think it's very important not only to highlight the success stories of those we're helping, but those that are doing the work. So this upcoming Wednesday, we're going to have an all hands on deck. So that means all our WARN staff, all our DMH teams, and our community-based organizations. So we're going to have a special guest, Dr. Sharon. And so it's just exciting times, and I'm very thankful to be on here today and to be sharing the platform with two veterans who I admire. And Tess, thank you for allowing me this opportunity as well.
Yeah, she's coming up next. That's okay. I'm glad you brought her up, because so you interface with the Family Wellness Center and Executive Director Tess Banco then. So she's going to be on the show next. And I'm hoping you can hang around, and maybe we'll have both of you on at the same time to try to, link up the interface between those two entities would be nice to talk about, or something like that. But man alive, I am so happy to meet you. I mean, seriously, this is a wonderful thing. I love hearing about it. I am going to absolutely look into the easiest possible access, to this kind of thing, and let other veterans know about it. And hopefully, they're watching this show, and it's something that they'll be, they'll be able to access easily. I mean, that's always the issue. It's like, 17,000 military links one day. They gave me that, and I went, what? I'm supposed to sort through this, So this is a really good thing. I appreciate all your hard work. Anything else, Nicholas, before we say goodbye?
Just a thank you to Christina, and a thank you to SCG V.P.A.N. Thank you all.
Thanks, Nick. Much appreciated. And the uniqueness of the peers is, again, they are military veterans and family members. So, we're going to be there no matter what, and provide that opportunities that, again, we didn't have in the past, and provide them now. So thank you guys so much, and thank you for your service.
Thank
you so much. Hang around a little bit.
Oh.
Okay, good. So, Nicholas, next we have Executive Director Tess Banco coming on. And, she was a Marine. And, I always stand across the room when she comes on, because, I'm like 70 years old. No, not really, not really. I mean, but I got my shot, early. So everybody knows how old I am. I mean, that's the way that works. Everybody's kind of going, what? But anyway, so yeah, Tess, come on in and talk to us about Family Wellness Center. And you have some new programs or something coming up that you want to talk about. And, there she is.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you. Thank you so much for having me back. Just incredible everything that's going on with the V.P.A.N and the energy and the focus around really changing the landscape of the veteran community in Los Angeles County with the peers being stationed around the county and then the referral and resource platform. So really it's going to, in my opinion, revolutionize veteran services and just make it that much easier to connect. For anyone who doesn't know me, I'm Tess Banko. I'm the executive director of the UCLA VA Veteran Family Wellness Center. It's a partnership between UCLA and the VA. And I'm back again.
Gosh, I was going to say one thing. You're going to need a bigger business card. I mean, seriously, you sent me an email and I looked at it and I went, holy crap, how does she even get all the stuff she does on one single business card? You're going to have to get like an 8.5 by 11 or a flag or something, to put all your stuff on. I mean, seriously. Okay, go ahead. Say whatever.
Well, they say that when you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. So, I mean, definitely I have a passion as a veteran, former family member. I survived a husband who passed away from suicide on active duty. So just knowing exactly what the stakes are and how impactful our relationships together can be, like the V.P.A.N, like the peer support. It's become my life's work really to support veterans and families. So along that vein, I want to talk a little bit about team transition resilience programming. There's really no one size fits all to transition, to wellness, to resilience. So at the VFWC, we've created some programming that's complementary. We work in conjunction with the V.P.A.N. We're supportive as a partner organization. But really examining transitions, because as we all know, as veterans, transitions occur often either out of the military for the first time into a new job, or maybe even into a new relationship, moving into a home. It's all transitions. So the premise behind TEAM is that we can arm ourselves with the best skills, tools, and support to make facing these challenges a little bit easier. So we've incorporated some key pieces of the training that the VFWC presents. It's evidence-based. So we look at things like identity, mission, meaning, and purpose coming out of the military. And then also look at establishing effective communication habits, strengthening relationships, because as many of us know, coming back from active duty, we may have a family already or are partnering and raising a young family. So the skills for that are very crucial. Yeah. So during the team workshops, veterans and their family members, which is really unique, it sets it apart. They can work together to learn and employ these skills, setting the effective goals, managing emotions, which is very, very important, communicating effectively, and using proven techniques. So it's a really great package that came together, and each workshop lasts about 90 minutes and it takes place once a week for 5 weeks. And you can do it directly from your computer. As we all know, COVID continues.
I was going to ask that very question. Exactly.
Yes.
So let me ask you the access question, because this is what we want to make sure that you have all these great programs, but then how do people find out about the Family Wellness Center if they're at home? Now, if they're in the hospital, some VSO is going to be saying, excuse me, but there's a Family Wellness Center and they're right over there in building 220 on the other side of campus. But how do they find you if they're just right out of the military, let's say?
It's been challenging, especially during COVID, to reach people directly. So what we've done is set up key points of contact, what I call master communicators. So having that information so that they can disseminate it. We're still trying to get information out in person, flyering or handing out postcards about the information. But really a lot of it has to do with, like Christina said, word of mouth, sharing that information. We are on the V.P.A.N platform, so people will be able to find us that way.
Good.
Also, I can put a link into the chat with how to access signing up for team workshops and also the VFWC services in general.
Excellent, excellent. So let's see. What was another question I had for you here? So when they come back to like the wellness center, are you going to make people walk in and show their vaccine card or wear a mask, or how do you think that might work? Yeah,
so currently right now, we are a partnership between the VA and UCLA. We are still in virtual status, and UCLA guidance from the campus has said that June is the target date for any resuming any in-person, groups or anything like that. So until then, what I continue to do is look at the different guidance coming out, both from the VA, from UCLA, from public health, and really melding together and creating a plan for returning back, because we care for not only the veteran safety, but also for the resilience trainer who will be assisting their safety as well. So,
do you like baseball, Tess?
I do.
Ooh.
I played softball for many years.
Oh, yeah, me too. I absolutely love baseball, and I know the co-host does. Yeah, now we're going to talk a little bit. Pardon me?
Legion softball team.
Oh.
Legion.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, we're all members of the American Legion, so interesting, Nicholas. Nicholas, do you have any questions for Tess?
Well, I can't say I like baseball as much as Tess does. Tess has seen me hitting baseballs or missing baseballs at the UCLA Jackie Robinson Stadium. But no, I think I first and foremost, I participated in team. So, team was invaluable. It was pre-pandemic, so it was in person, but it was that one appointment. Not only did it teach me while I was reintegrating, but it was also an appointment to make. It was 90 minutes where I got to sit down and I was able to really look at things and start to structure and learn how to restructure, because one of the things that was missing from my life, having left the military, was there's this entire structure that really works for me, right? I had a great career in the military. I was used to having structure in my life, and to have the opportunity to structure and learn structure and plan and have something that sticks, because that structure that was planned during team is still in my life. And for me, it was worksheets. I had worksheets and I'd write it down and I'd plan. For me, it was like, I want to go to the gym. Well, that happened. It was things like that. But it started on a very big, I wanted to have a calendar. I wanted to be able to keep a calendar. And I learned how to keep a calendar in team. I was worked with, and okay, well, every time an appointment comes in, it took some time, but now every time I hear something, it goes into my calendar. And that's one of the things that's invaluable in moving through life, And so I'm very grateful to have learned how to keep a calendar, how to maintain it, how to make appointments. These things for some of the veterans, depending on where you're coming in or what you're transitioning from, some of these skills have not been utilized in a very long time. And team was able to take me through that process. So I'm grateful for that, and grateful to the UCLA, VA, VFWC for showing me that. I could talk forever because there's so many things. It's 90 minutes, and it was so invaluable, and and it was always scheduled and worked with. It was just handled so well. The one question I have for Tess, when things resumed, Tess, I remember that you all actually had a partnership where, like, if you lived far away or something, you all had a Lyft partnership where you all were actually willing to lift a veteran to participate in the programs out there, which I thought was really cool. Is that something that may still be there in June?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, shout out to the Amundsen Foundation who made the grant possible. So we do provide Lyft rides into the center, but also during this COVID time, if you have a doctor's appointment at the West Los Angeles VA or need to go there for medical care or any other reason, feel free to call the center and we can get you a ride there.
Super cool.
So This Family Wellness Center, are they, I'm sure you are aware of it, but there's a legal clinic coming up to help clear records. You know, when we say records, some of the civilians went, what is this records? Well, military record clearances, right? That's specifically what they're talking about. Or they're also talking about, like, if they had some kind of thing that need cleared up, even if they were in civilian life, right? I mean,
Yes.
yeah.
So, the legal question is very interesting because, as we know, there are different types of law. So there's, criminal law aspects of clearing up your criminal record. There are things like parking infractions, parking tickets, which for the homeless community can cause things to kind of spiral out of control. If you can't pay your tickets, you lose your license, your ability to drive. So there's also the family law aspect of it for veterans and families, which can be very challenging. There aren't many supports in that arena. But yes, coming up, I think in March, is a LACPA. So
March 17th.
Los Angeles County Bar Association loves the veteran community. And so they created a record clearing day. So you can get an appointment to look at your record and look at the types of legal issues that you might have that need to be cleared.
I have a question for both of you because I don't know the answer to this. Genuinely don't know what this is that they clear up, because I'm just looking at it right here on my page, and it says eligible traffic tickets and different things like that. And then they said they can clear up quality of life citations. What the heck is that? Does it either of you know? Yes, do you know?
Quality of life citations include citations from where you live. So if you have some kind of an abatement issue where you live, those are the types of things that are quality of life.
I didn't realize.
Yeah. It can be anything from like loitering near a school, near public toilet.
Well, you don't need to be looking out at all those little kitties anyway, Nicholas. What the heck's going on there?
This is just, but they're homeless or something. So lodging near a park or even begging, obstructing civil sidewalks, drinking alcohol in public, being intoxicated in public. Those are all quality of life citations. I know for me, being out there homeless, one of the roughest parts is, it took me a while, right? Because I've got to get around the city. But if you get on the metro, you don't have any money to get on the metro. You don't have any way to ride the metro. So you're hopping on the metro. They can ticket you on the metro. And then of course the homeless teach you that. They'll say, hey, well, you're a veteran, you can actually have the metro is a little cheaper for you. So that was really super cool. But I was always under duress about being ticketed on riding the metro, and that's something that it seems like could be helped with the virtual record clearing clinic. Some of those metro citations that the homeless get.
Yeah, it can be very challenging.
Mm-hmm.
It really can. So just in my own life, I'm an open book for anyone that it helps, but as a child, my family experienced homelessness, so we actually lived in a car for a while. So those things do add up. So if you get all these citations on your car, you have nowhere to live, essentially.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's things like this that most people don't see as, roadblocks that are very important.
Well, I want to say that the virtual record clearing clinic is Wednesday, March 17th. From 3:30 to 6:30, and they're offering free service to veterans in these issues that we've just been discussing. And that's the Los Angeles County Bar Association. I know we say LACBA real quick and everything else, but it's the LA Bar Association that's doing that for us. And, we'll be talking more about that in the next couple of weeks here and on the show and promoting that. Let's bring Christina back in. Wait just one second. Now, any other questions for Tess? Nicholas, before we go?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, because I want to bring them both back in so that they can interface. And while we're doing that, I want to talk about two different, go ahead, she can come back in anytime, but I want to mention two services that are happening. So I gave you a phone call the other day. Now, I'm 100% service connected, but somebody called, and so I have dental care is the point. But somebody called me up about dental care, and they're from the West LA College. And I received this phone call about getting a teeth cleaning and it was in building 213, and it's the students that are doing this, and you have to be 100% service connected in order to get that benefit and get them to do that. But I talked to her, and she's a really nice person, and I want to go ahead and leave her phone number down. It's the main phone number at VA West LA, which is 310-478-3711, and her extension is 54080. Okay. And they're doing that right now, and they need people to come and get their teeth cleaned. But I have a dentist in the main building. Yes, Nicholas, go.
Well, I was just going to add, I believe if you are not 100% service connected and you are in the domiciliary,
Yes.
I think you are also able to go over to VA building 213 on the West LA VA campus and receive that. I've actually had that before I was 100%. I did have my teeth cleaned over there. I don't know if it was them, but they were the students, and it was 4 appointments. And I'm telling you, I've been out on the streets for a while. This was back when I actually smoked, so I had, you can't buy cigarettes, So I had a lot of tar there. It takes a couple of hours, but it was 4 appointments where they did quadrants of my mouth and just totally. This is why I'm smiling.
Let me see that. Let me see those choppers. Wow, you're looking fine.
Hey, thank you all. I mean, they do an amazing job. I've seen them do wonders for many veterans. So thank you for sharing that information.
All right, I've got something new that I don't know if you two know about this, but if you don't, write it down, because this is a really cool thing. I was just on, a Spirit Mountain thing. For veterans. Spirit Mountain is a wonderful place, and they host a women's veterans group. And one of the women veterans told us that she had recently she had COVID, coronavirus, and she was recovering. And they have a recovery class and program for people who are transitioning out or transitioning from being from being sick with corona to, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I had never heard of this. I had no idea that this was going on. And I'm proud of the VA for doing what I think is an innovative program, or else maybe I've just been living in a cave or under a rock or something. I don't know. But I was surprised that so many people were benefiting from this post-corona class. You're nodding, Tess, you knew about it?
I'd heard of Spirit Mountain before and seen.
Oh, no, I'm not Spirit Mountain did it. I mean, Sepulveda VA is doing this.
Oh, no, I hadn't heard of that.
Yes. Spirit Mountain, of course. Who hasn't heard of Spirit Mountain? I mean, they're my good best friend. I mean, I can't get enough of Spirit Mountain. But this is the VA doing this. This is my point. It's that she went to classes at Sepulveda VA. That was where I actually hear it's happening. So it's like, oh man, I mean, who wouldn't want to know about that? And this woman was an EMT, and she was like, at home adjusting her own oxygen and everything and trying to treat herself because, whatever. It was just an amazing story, and I'm hoping that she'll come on the show too. But so do you guys have any questions for each other? Or that, not questions, but discussion about your interface and your various programs and how you interface with each other. And I mean, how do you get along? You're in the Army and she's in the Marines. So how do you even get along with each other, for starters? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Gail. Yeah, let me start it off. Tess and I work really well together. And I will say it's because we are both very strong leaders and we're driven, and we know that, the need is out there. So we've partnered up with veteran family peer navigator courses for our peers that, we've hired in the last 3 to 4 months, psychological first aid courses. And, here soon we're going to be doing, more specialized training for our program managers, like mentorship programs, train the trainer programs. So that way we can identify, certain individuals who can take these courses on and start providing them to our newer members of our team. So that way, I mean, the thing is about sharing knowledge, and a lot of us have been through many leadership courses, and it's about sharing those experiences and new experiences, and how can we make the team better. So we're on calls probably once a week now, just discussing like, how can we do this? What are the better methods? What are the more creative and interactive ways that we can engage people? Because being on Zoom, I mean, it's hard, especially when you have 6 Zooms a day and you're just mentally drained. So, we're trying to provide as creative and innovative informational briefings to our teams, and also getting their feedback. What do you guys want? What do you guys think that is going to help you do this job, but not overwhelm yourselves either? So those are the ways that Tess and I are partnering up.
I have some information I just want to throw out there for you too, so that you're aware of it, because I get a lot of questions personally about pharmacy issues at the VA. And this may not be what we were directly talking about here on the program so far, but somebody asked me, how the heck can I ever go on a vacation, if my medication just arrives 2 or 3 days before, I want to leave, or, it's going to show up at my house after I've already gone somewhere. So I talked to somebody in the pharmacy, and there is a thing where you can get a vacation medication supply, and you apply in person at the VA pharmacy. You make the advance request and talk to them about it. Talk to them about the length of time that you're going to be on vacation and all that kind of stuff. And, of course, there's guidelines for controlled substances and all that kind of stuff. But I'm talking about when I need my thyroid pills. You know what I mean? It's just like, I just want to get this so I can go back east and visit my kids, that kind of thing. Also, there's another issue about medication after the fact disposal, needles and stuff like that. You can get a little teeny baggie the size of this and put something in it. But I'm telling you, I know people that have a lot of stuff, and they need like those big black leaf bag size, and they need, and then the caregiver can't carry it into the hospital back in there to the pharmacy. So they need some kind of locked thing outside the VA that's a drive-up thing to get rid of this kind of thing. Now, maybe that's not the solution for it, but whatever. One more thing.
A medication amnesty box.
Yeah.
So I know that the VA at West Los Angeles in particular was doing a drive-through medication take-back. So over the past couple of years, they did it. I don't know where that currently stands with COVID, but definitely is something they could advocate for.
Yeah. Well, you know how the guys are always hoarding their, those health and welfare inspections and stuff. So they hoard them up and throw them up on the roof in bags or whatever, or just keep them out of the way so they don't get caught with it. But it's true. They hoard this stuff. It's terrible. One other thing I wanted to mention. So I actually emailed the director of the hospital, Dr. Braverman, and I asked him, I said, you know what? I said, I don't really like sitting in a waiting room with a bunch of sick people, COVID or not. I want to be able to go outside and walk around or do something else. So I mentioned to him, I said, is there some way we can actually get a text on our phones when the refill is ready so we can just walk in and get it, rather than, sitting in the cafeteria looking at all that fried chicken and stuff when I could be outside walking around? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's just another thing I wanted to mention as far as something that these are things that we can advocate for and mention to the VA for their help in making it better. Maybe, whatever the process is for prescriptions and stuff. So anyway, you guys have anything else?
One of the interesting things about that too is that the new patient experience officer for the VA, his name is John Bursler, and he is coming out of Texas and had worked, with Los Angeles in the organization and kind of consulting on V.P.A.N. So it's very exciting to see such a great veteran advocate combined arms with the model that's used in Texas, moving into a national role to examine, patient experience issues like this. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty exciting to see, what's on the horizon. I know a lot of turnover is happening within departments. really, really love what West Los Angeles has done. You mentioned the fried chicken, and they just redid that whole cafeteria area in there. So it's definitely a place to visit. It's a destination.
Yeah, it's not some place you want to have a salad bar, probably. You know what I mean? It's like, whoa, geez. How do you even have a mask on and eat right now? So it's just, my life is screwy, I have to tell you. It's just, every day I have to reassess what the new rules are and how long. Nicholas went with me to get, we both got both of our vaccines. And, he went with me because I keep freaking out. And it isn't about the vaccine. It's the anticipation of finally getting it that just absolutely, like, oh my God, I don't even know what you guys are because you're like 20 years old,
That's so kind.
Yeah, well, whatever. I meant, yeah, whatever.
I got my life back. I'm out. I'm at the beach. I'm like,
oh man, yeah, I've been doing things. My sister's coming to visit. My sister is finally going to get to visit. She and her husband have both had both their shots. I've had both my shots. We're almost going into 4 weeks past our second shot. And I feel great. I had no issues. I mean, if anything, your arm hurts or there's some little thing like, maybe like a flu shot or something. But I'm telling you, and they rock at VA West LA, man, and Reno and San Antonio. I understand. Those are the three that I've had really good reviews on. So parents live down there.
I've had a great adventure at the VA in Sepulveda.
Huh.
Every time I go, I've had great experiences. I mean, with the chiropractor, with the dental. I just had a root canal last Wednesday. I'm going in for another in a week and a half. So I have nothing but great things to say about the Sepulveda VA.
Dr. Johnson is stellar.
Yes.
Valerie Johnson rocks. Oh, please. We all have the same doctors, don't we? I mean, seriously, we know who's good and who isn't. You know what I mean?
Oh, boy.
That's right. That's
but,
right.
But what you're saying about, being able to visit again and the shot's impact on that is so important because, again, that goes back to the importance of the V.P.A.N, that connection, that camaraderie, that ability to reach people, which for so many of us has been on lockdown along with our bodies.
Okay, so only a quick thing here. Did everybody get the Brentwood School survey?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because that was fascinating to me. All the different the survey and what programs they have coming up, and asking our opinion about what we would actually use, and that kind of stuff. And I said to them, you know what? If you have a VA clinician in all these classes, then people can apply for travel pay. It's just kind of a VSO thing on my mind. Huh. So there's a benefit there for us if we attach a clinician to some of these classes, be maybe a nice thing. Maybe they can't do it. Get that clinician to wear a mask and just have them go over there and take attendance and, bye.
Well,
I had a question on that survey. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt that. I just had a question on the survey. I think we have till March 18th, but I don't know how to actually get the survey back to Brentwood School. So I was wondering how can that survey be filled out and then given back? Is it on their website or is it the Word doc?
There's a link in the document itself.
Yes.
So you would complete it, take the link in the document, and then send it back.
Right. That's what I did.
Yes.
Okay.
But
yeah.
One of the really cool things that I wanted to comment on with everything that's going on in the community is the grassroots involvement. So the voices of the veterans actually coming up, like the name of the podcast. I mean, the V.P.A.N had, feedback directly from veteran stakeholders. We have the opportunity to give feedback on services that are happening on the VA campus, like the Brentwood Schools survey, the UCLA survey that's gone out too. So it's just a really, really neat time here in Los Angeles County.
Well, this is cool. Guys, you know what? I want to talk to you both longer, but the deal here is that we have a little feature to do on the Jackie Robinson baseball field and some pictures to show. So let us get on with that. And I want to say truly, and Nicholas, if you agree, and I know you already do, anytime either one of you want to come back and talk about a specific program or anything that you feel is important to veterans that you want to get out there, that's what we do. That is our entire purpose of this show, is firsthand veteran experience at the VA. So you
Absolutely.
well.
Thank you, Tess. Thank you, Christina. And thank you to all of the support and engagement along the way. Thank you all for being here.
You're both very special people.
Well, thanks for having us. And hope to see you guys again soon.
We'll talk to you later. We'll
come back soon.
5 minutes from now. See you, Christina. Thank you.
See you.
Wow.
Yes.
Was that a heck of a thing?
I'm already getting people sending me messages. My friend G said, great show, so much information. It's awesome.
Yeah, I like it when they bring their own links for the chat box. It's not as, it's not so hard for me to be trying to look and find it and all that silliness. You know what I mean? Yes. Hey, you want to try to do this Jackie Robinson thing?
I do.
I wanted to say, let me just say one thing. I wanted, when we talked about the baseball field, everybody wanted to know about the baseball field and the programs for veterans and stuff. And we mentioned the name Jackie Robinson Baseball Field, but I didn't want to talk about it as if it was a side story, because Jackie Robinson is a big friggin' deal. So I wanted to have a feature on this show that was just specifically about, well, his history. It's Black History Month, so why wouldn't we do that? I mean,
yes,
but we would be doing that anyway, no matter what month it was. Where it could be, whatever History Month, and we'd be doing Jackie Robinson.
Well, Jackie Robinson is. I've been at the West LA VA, so Jackie Robinson is always on my mind. My daughter trains. I do driving lessons for my daughter out there.
Oh no, I'm getting out of the way.
Yeah, well, she's got it, but she drives up the narrow road up near the stadium, and she sees the stadium out there, and that's Jackie Robinson Stadium. And so there's absolutely it's Black History Month. There's things that I didn't know about Jackie Robinson. So
why don't you just go ahead with it, and I'll sit here.
Yeah, so I'm just going to share some of the things I've learned. Like, I didn't even know Jackie Robinson was from California. I didn't know that he attended school at John Muir High School in Pasadena. I didn't know that. I didn't know that he played 4 sports: football, basketball, track, baseball. And in 1938, he was named the region's most valuable player. Of course, we mentioned the stadium. Jackie Robinson continued his education at UCLA, and he was the first student to win varsity letters in 4 sports. And in 1941, you know what? Jackie, like a lot of people, had to leave UCLA because he had a financial hardship. Of course, we're talking about Jackie Robinson also because this is Voice of the Veteran, and Jackie Robinson is a Army veteran, United States Army veteran, and he served from 1942 to 1944. Jackie never saw combat. Why? Well, during boot camp at Fort Hood, that's Killeen, Texas. My father was stationed out at Killeen, Texas. So I grew up. I went to 3rd grade in Killeen at a private school out there. My father was stationed at Fort Hood too. Jackie was there for boot camp. Well, Jackie got arrested and he was court-martialed in 1944. Why? Well, because Jackie refused to give up his seat. Jackie was on a segregated bus and he refused to give his seat. He ended up being court-martialed. Now, with the efforts of the NAACP and different newspaper, the light was shed on that and things started to change. And Jackie, of course, became a great civil rights leader in the Black community. Also, I didn't know this. I didn't know that Jackie actually had an older brother. And what inspired Jackie to play sports was that his brother won a silver medal in the 200-meter dash. And guess who came in behind? Jesse Owens. Jesse Owens beat Jackie Robinson's brother, but that's who his inspiration was to be in the sports. Wow. in the 1936 Olympic Games over there in Berlin. Now, ultimately, Jackie was acquitted of charges and received an honorable discharge. And of course, he went on to play for the Brooklyn Dodgers. And you know how I feel about the Dodgers. So that's a little bit about Jackie Robinson on Black History Month, and I appreciate being able to learn more and share more on Jackie Robinson.
Good job. I'm telling you, I learned a lot too. That is excellent. Wow. Huh. Interesting. Hey, I guess, we got like 5 minutes left, 4 minutes left. Let's talk about a rapid recap for the show. I'll let you do the final sign off. I just wanted to say, that I've always been a big mask wearing person, and we've been talking about when can we go back into the hospital and all that kind of stuff. And, because I want to go in there and be involved with these programs and stuff, and I guess I'm just tired of, some people acting like, wearing a mask, visiting grandma is just like picking up the mail or something. It's serious. I mean, do these people just want to get their inheritance quicker or something to go visit grandma and carry in that virus and give it to her? Just stop that already. Just give us a little time to get this taken care of. And it appears that, I know we're on a roller coaster, but man, have you seen those numbers drop for the virus and everything? I mean, I'm just excited about that.
Yes, I did see that.
I'm going to have to shoot some of these people in the kneecap or something so to make them stay home and recover, because I mean, it's just serious what they, think they can get away with. And it's just not true. So I guess that's all I have to say. I'm just such an advocate for, for being careful and well, you and I both went in and got our vaccine as fast as we could possibly muster. I know you went in there and I had an appointment because I'm old.
Walk-in.
Yeah, I'm old, and you had a walk-in because we figured out that, walk-ins can get in, when people don't keep their appointments. So
also, my work at the West LA VA and the fact that I am the homeless liaison and things like that put me on the front lines. And of course, the CVAB were really what got me that vaccine. And I'm very grateful. And of course, Jose mentioned earlier about value and how Executive Director Benko makes you feel valued. I know I felt extraordinarily valued when I got my Pfizer shot at the VA because my life has opened up. I'm moving around, I don't have the same pressures or weight on me about it. So I'm extraordinarily grateful for that.
Well, you also told him you had a pre-existing condition.
Well, I did, Dale. I had to. I told him I was Black, and it was the first thing I said.
I said, what? And you said, I said, did that work? And you said, no, but it softened them up. And I've been laughing.
He said, sit down. He said, sit down. Just sit down. I saw like 4 brothers walk in too. They just walk right through. They say, hey.
We don't want them thinking, this is not going to get his vaccine. You just get it.
No, the West LA VA is doing a bang-up job. I mean, it just truly grateful for the work being done out there. The precision in which the operation is run is absolutely exemplary.
Good job, VA. I'm telling you. Well, you go ahead and tell them this is Voice of Veteran Show, the #1 show in the nation for firsthand veteran experience. Go ahead, say it, because we're going to wrap this up.
Hey, this is Voice of the Veteran. I'm Nicholas Cormier III, along with Gail Ochiltree.
Yes.
And with special thanks to our guests, Tess Benko and Christina Garcia. Thank you all for being here, and have a great week, everybody. This is Voice of the Veteran.
Good job. All right. See you next time.